James Clear. So I will discuss this book today. On the final day of my sophomore year of high school, I was hit in the face with a baseball bat as my classmate took a full swing, striking me directly. Sorry, full swing at the bat slipped out of his hands and came flying toward me before striking me directly between the eyes. I have no memory of the moment of impact. The bat smashed into my face with such force that it crashed my nose into a destroyed U shape. The collision sent the soft tissue of my brain slamming into the inside my skull. Immediately, a wave of swelling surged through throughout my head. In a fraction of a second, I had a broken nose, multiple skull fracture, and two shattered eye sockets. When I opened my eyes, I saw people starting at me and running over to help. I looked down and noticed spot of red on my cloth. One of my classmates took the shirt off his back and handed it to me. I did it to plug the stream of blood rushing from my broken nose. And confused, I was unaware of how seriously I had been injured. So my teacher slipped his arm around my shoulder and began the long walk to the nurse office. Cross the field, down the hill, and back. Into school, random hands touched my side, holding me upright. We took our time and walked slowly. Nobody realized that every minute mattered. When we arrived at the nurse office, she asked me a series of questions. What year is it? 1998, I answered. It was actually 2002. Who is the President of United States? Bill Clinton, I said. The correct answer was George W. Bush. What is your mom's name? I stated. 10 seconds passed. Patty, I said, casually ignoring the fact that it had taken me 10 seconds to remember my own mother name. That is the last question I remembered. My body was unavailable to handle the rapid swelling in my brain, and I lost consequences before the arm balance arrived. Minute later, I was arrived out of my school and taken to the local hospital. Shortly after arriving, my body began shutting down. I struggled with a basic functioning like swallowing and breathing. I had my first of the day. Then I stopped breathing entirely as the doctor halted to supply me with oxygen. They also decided the local hospital was unequipped to handle the situation and ordered a helicopter to fly me to a large hospital in Kenyatina. I was ruled out of the emergency room doors and toward the helicopter. Across the street, the structure rattled on a bumpy sidewalk as one nurse pushed me along with another pumped each breath into me and my mother, who had arrived at the hospital a few minutes before, climbed into the helicopter beside me. I remembered unconsequences and unavailable to breathe on my own as she held my hand during the flight. So, while my mother rode with me in the helicopter, my father went home to check on my brother and sister and break the news to them. He hooked back tires and as he explained to my sister that he should miss her eighth grade graduation ceremony that night. After passing my sampling off to family and friend, he drove to Santikant to meet my mother. When my mother and I landed on the roof of a hospital, a team of nearby 20 doctors and nurses sprinting onto the helipad and we wheeled me into the trauma unit. By this time, the swelling in my brain had become so severe that I was having repeated post-traumatic sequels. My broken bones need to fixed, but I was in no condition to undergo surgery. After yet another sequence, my third of the day, I was put in a medically include coma and placed on a ventilator. My parents were no stranger to the hospital. 10 yearly they had entered the same building on the ground floor. After my sister was diagnosed with leukemia at the age 3. I was 5 at the time. My brother was 6 months old. After 2.5 years of chemotherapy, treat spinal tap and bone marrow biopsies, my little sister finally walked out of the hospital happy, healthy and cancer free. And now, after 10 years of normal life, my parents found themselves back in the same place with a different child. Will I spilled into a coma. The hospital sent priests and a social worker to comfort my parent. It was the same priests who had met with them a decade earlier. On the evening they found out my sister had cancer. As As day faded into night, a series of machines kept me alive. My part slept restfully on a hospital mattress. On one moment, they would collapse from fatigue. The next, they would be wide awake with worry. My mother would tell me later I was one of the worst night I'll had. This man recovery I will discuss in next video. Thank you so much for watching this video.